Hi everybody, welcome to the I-cord review tutorial. This will have to be in a couple of parts because as you can see in front of me, there are quite a few different tools that you can use to make I-cords. You have the Addy Egg, the Tulip I-cord knitter, the original Cordsmith, and various DPNs. I'm going to start with the way I learned to make I-cords with DPNs. So I'm just going to move this stuff out of the way. As you can see, I've got three kinds of DPNs here. Zings, this is a sock set. This is also a sock set. This is a wood set, 4-inch, as you can see. But this is the set I'm going to use. I got these on Amazon. It was a full set up to like 6.0, 6.5 coupe. And they weren't an expensive set, and they're actually pretty decent for what they are from Amazon. So I'm just going to move them over here. Now this is what an I-cord is. This one here was made on the Tulip. It makes a bigger I-cord, as you can see. This is a worsted weight number 4 yarn, and that's the I-cord. So for purpose of demonstration on this here, we're going to use just some worsted weight and 2 DPNs. I'm going to zoom this in so you can see. As you can see, I started one here just messing around. Okay, let me zoom you in a little bit. Okay, just working with the zoom on the camera. Okay, so to start, I believe I have a tutorial on how, I apologize for the zooming, I hope I'm not making anybody sick, on how to do a traditional I-cord, but I'm going to show you again. So you're going to start with a slip knot and insert it on your needle. And you are going, this is going to be a 3-stitch I-cord, which is a small I-cord, but it's pretty much a traditional one, and you just cast on 3 stitches with whatever your choice of cast on is. And I split my yarn. Let's pull that out. That'll make it difficult when I'm trying to do it, so let's try it again. So I cast on my 1 stitch. I'm going to cast on 2 more stitches. Now you can't do this with straight needles. It has to be a DPN because you have to have the ability to slide this, because when you do this, you do not turn your work. So we're going to take this here. The only time I turn my work is when I go to start my I-cord. I'm going to pull my tail yarn out of the way, and I'm going to start the I-cord. So what you do is you just knit. All I-cord is knit stitches. You just knit this. Now when you put your last stitch on, do not turn your work. Okay? You're just going to take your work and you're going to push it to the side. Pick up your working yarn. As you can see, it's going to go across the back of the work. You do not turn your work. And then you just knit across. And this is all you do. You just keep doing this. And you'll start to see your take it, slide it back down to the end of the DPN, and you knit your stitches. Just knit stitches, and then you just slide it back here. I'll do a couple more and then I'll show you what it looks like. Sorry about my needles. These are long DPNs. I don't use these. I'll do one more. If you turn your work, it kind of messes up your tube, because that's what an I-cord is. It's a tube. And I-cords are used on I-cord cast-ons, I-cord cast-offs. It makes a nice border. So As you can see, this is what your I-cord is starting to look like. This is one side, and then this is the other side. But that's your I-cord. That's the old-fashioned way. Very time intensive doing it with regular DPNs. That's why I went on the hunt for a a tool that I could use to make making I-cords easier. So I'm just going to pull this out. Now the next one I'm going to show you is my most recent purchase. This is, and all of these links will be in the description box below. This is called the Original Cordsmith. This is made, there's a woman on Instagram, and she has a company. It's called Size Inclusive Collective. She specializes in patterns for plus size women. Her husband and son make these, and she is in charge of all the orders and shipping and tracking and all that. And I messed around with it for a little bit. And I'm not efficient at this, but I can show you the basics of using the Original Cordsmith. It's made very well. As you can see, this is just 3 latch hooks. So basically, one of the tutorials I watched is you make a very loose slip stitch like this. Okay. You put it on your hook, but put it on the first and third latch, and then you put the middle one behind. Okay, so it's like this. You make sure it's pulled down below your latch right here. It's going to pull up. And what you're going to do is you're going to just tighten up just ever so slightly on your slip knot. My slip knot's the yarn's kind of getting worn out, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to clip this off. And get a fresh piece of yarn. So I'm just going to make a loose slip knot to go over my hooks, and I'm just going to take the middle one and put it behind. It's fiddly. The first half dozen rows are very fiddly, and you do them slow so you don't, but once you get started it goes really quick. I think I did a 6 foot in less than 10 minutes. Like that. Just tighten up on your slip stitch a little bit. Okay, and then make sure these loops are underneath your latches. And you're just going to go wrap your yarn around like this under your hooks, grab a hold of your tail, and you're going to pull. And this is where I found I just had the first few rows had to gently push it over, and you pull. Make sure it's under your latches and your latches are all open, and then you pull up again. Like I said, the first few you're going to help your little loops over your hooks. Come around, make sure it's under the hooks, and make sure all your latches are open and your yarn is under. And then you pull up again, and just push them, and my yarn is splitting. Come back down, come over, pull, and pull it back down, and then make sure your latches are all open, but your working stitches are underneath your latch. Come across, and pull up again. And try not to make it too tight. That's what's happening. I've got mine too tight. So I'm going to pull these stitches over top of these latch hooks. Try to loosen up my tension. And another time with tension. And pull back down. And I'm going to pull my working yarn over. I'm going to pull. See how it's coming up? And then you pull like this. I'm just going to, I think I did 6 or 7 rows, like just helping it. And then once I got it going, it was real easy. Pull my yarn. And I pulled my stitch right off. but you can see it is making an I-cord. I'm going to do a demonstration of this by itself, but this was another way to make an I-cord. This is the original cordsmith. Okay, I'm just going to cut this end off. This is just my waste yarn cake here. Then we have the Addy egg. I'm going to stop the video here while I set this up. Okay, this is the Addy egg, and these are the components. This is your machine and the handle. I store mine in the box. This is not going to be a complete review. I'm just showing you how I make I-cords with them. You put this one in here, the handle. This is the lid. You're going to take your yarn, and like with most knitting machines, you have to go around every other one. So basically I'm going to feed it through this little hole here. Usually it's best to use fingering weight, or I think if I use DK on this. Hold on one moment. Okay, sometimes you have to take like a little crochet hook or a DPN, cable needle, anything, to push it through this little hole here. And you pull out some, enough that you're going to put it down through bottom. And I use my crochet hook to push it down through. Turn it over and get it to come down through the bottom. I just grab my crochet hook. You can see here, I grab my crochet hook and try to pull it down through. There it is. So it's coming out the bottom of the machine. So then you just pull some. You're going to make a little loop, just like this. Okay, and you're going to attach it to your egg. And then just pull it till it tightens up on your egg. My slip knots just don't want to tighten tonight. I'm going to dial for time. Put my egg, put this on here, and then I just pull and tighten up. This is the tension. This is heavy, but you want tension on your machines. And then I just pull until it's just laying there, and then you're going to, it's in your view here, this is the lid that goes on after it's done. What I will do is it goes through there. Pull it up so I can work with it. And you're going to go under the first hook, behind the next one, behind the next one, then under the next one, behind the next one, and I'll show you. You've got to make sure that it goes down and over the latch there. We went behind that one. We're going to go under this one. Then we're going to go behind this one. Need to work some more work on yarn here. Behind this one. This is a 6 needle machine. It made the big I-cord. Under that one. Behind that one. Under that one. Okay, and we're back to the beginning. So then I just pull on it, and you're going to make sure as you're doing it, you go slow the first few times. Until you get it started, and you're making sure that it's going down over these little humps. said, it just takes time, and I'm putting a little bit of tension with my hand right now until I get it started. And you have to work with it. This may not come out right the first time. You got to work with it. It just takes time, but it's just another way of making an I-cord. I'm going to stop this here and get some done so I can show you. Okay, as you can see, I'm just turning. I put the lid on it for the tension, and I'm just turning like this. And if you look underneath here, you can see the I-cord coming out. Now, it's all messed up because I'm not taking my time, but just show you the I-cord comes out. And you can move this egg up to keep the tension on this. That's the big thing, keeping the tension on this I-cord as you're I just put it down in my lap as you're winding it like this. You just wind and crank. So it is a lot faster than doing the traditional by hand I-cord. So that's the Addy egg. Now this one works in the same way. It just makes a smaller I-cord because this is a 4 hook I-cord, whereas the Addy egg is a 6. So that's the only difference. This I had to purchase, and it comes with a crochet hook. This I had to purchase on Amazon.com because I couldn't get it on Amazon.ca, and I had won a Amazon gift card, so I used it towards this because it was for Amazon.com. So I bought this, and this was like $60. So that's the different ways you can make an I-cord. I just take this off. The handle comes off. I'm just going to cut this yarn because this is my waste yarn. I've taken the egg off, and when you want to get it off, all you start doing is winding without any yarn coming in, and it will literally feed itself off the needles there. If it doesn't, I just take my crochet hook and pull it because it's all tangled up here. Not up, and it does. It takes time working with these machines to use them, and its patience is a virtue. So I'll just easily, I'll just take this and pull it up through. Just throw this knotted mess away from my I-cord. I just pull it up through, and I start pulling off the latches here. Once it's down under, you can get the yarn off pretty easy. Sometimes it'll hook, and then you just pull it up, like this one here. The yarn split and it hooked into. So just wind this around so it comes up. Then I can pull the yarn off it and restart my I-cord. Just bring it around to the next one. Pull my yarn up off it. People are saying, "Oh, this looks like too much work." Well, I'll tell you. These are a lot faster than the old traditional hand cord. And when I actually took the time, sat there, and was working with it, I had my I-cord done in no time at all. Right now I'm just taking all this knot. I'm taking the quick way out, taking this mess off, pulling out my I-cord. And it makes, especially if you've got, like I had to do a 6-foot I-cord, 100 inches long, for one of my tops I made, and turn the handle, it just raises it up, makes it easier to get it off. And I'm just using my hook to lift it up over this latch, and this is sock yarn, and it's split like a you-know-what. But that's all I wanted to show you, is different ways to make your I-cord. At this video, and whether this video gets uploaded or not, we'll see what I think of the quality of it, and I've got to redo it. But I just store it in its box. It has the little opening here that lines up with your guide, and it just snaps down into place like that. And I put it back in its box with its handle and its little egg, and that is how I store it. I keep all my I-cord machines in a little canvas thing there. That one there. Again, I said this is the four needle one. I showed you what the basics of the Addy egg. You saw what a rough I-cord looks like. You saw what the I-cord looks like doing it by hand. This one here come right off. This one here come off the Addy egg. That's how big it. This is with the worsted yarn. So you can see what it looks like. It took me no time at all to crank this I-cord out. Again, my DPNs. This one here, I had issues with this one here. This embellished knit. You can get this on Amazon pretty less than $30. Some of them you can get for 15 or 16. It has a little weight that attaches where like the Addy egg does. I had issues with latches, but again, it's practice working with these machines. I do like using the I-cord machines more so than doing it by hand. It's a lot quicker. Once I get it going, it works out good. And the newest one, I've got to message her, let her know my middle hook's loose. The newest one is the original I-cord Smith, and I'll link all this in the description box below. Look to the future. I did buy one of these to have in a giveaway. So that's in the future, and I have somebody that's going to donate a pattern that requires I-cords, so you'll get a pattern and this, but that's a future giveaway. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell, what these, to do an I-cord. I hope it helped you some. Leave me a message in the comments below if you have any questions. I don't have the professional videos that everybody else does, but I wanted to give you a general idea of what these machines look like, how much they cost. I mean, you got one. This here was, I bought 3 of them. One as a gift, one to give away, one for myself. And they were, if you bought 2, they were 40. If you bought 1, it was 25 for one. That's US. I bought 3, and I think she gave me all 3 for like $60. Plus shipping. The shipping wasn't much. So, DPNs, you can get them all places. You can get them at the dollar store. The Addy egg ran me less than 50 Canadian. I got that on Amazon.ca. And like I said, the I-cord knitter from Tulip was about 60 US. So, have yourself a great day. And I'm going to go get this to the computer and see if my editing software has fixed itself, because I've got, this is like the 5th video I have to edit and put up. And then I'm also going to get ready to do a Prim tool, Prim knitting needles and DPNs review and demonstration. Have a great day.